Alright, hey, he's Mig here, and I'm shooting a show and tell, well, it's kind of a show and tell video, and I'm going to actually install this, alright? So this is part of my Sauron Winter build project, and I got the final piece to my puzzle. Finally I got this Warp9 linkage, alright? So let me tell you how I got this guy on Black Friday. I ordered it, and I ordered it on Black Friday from Warp9racing.com. So I didn't get it until today. It's like March 3rd or something, okay? So I haven't got it for like 3 months. When I ordered it, I didn't know it was on back order, right? The website didn't say anything. So I'm like, what the heck? And then like it says like, and then I went and got all my stuff from Warp9 Racing, and I said, hey, the linkage is missing. So I sent them an email, and then they said, hey, oh, you'll notice that it's on back order, like it wasn't in the packing list or something. So I have to wait for them to get them back in stock, all right? And so 1 month goes by, 2 months goes by, and then after like the 3rd month, Hayes Meg is just seriously thinking, man, I think I'm just gonna buy a linkage from somewhere else, and then put it on the bike, you know, because like I said, this is the last piece of the puzzle right here for my build, all right? And I got it today, so thanks Warp9 Racing. Got it just in the nick of time, because I was just about ready to go order another one from somebody else. That's what I'll say. I do know Prickly sells them, Prickly Motorsports, and I think there's some kind of Chinese one floating around too. And you can get it on Amazon. That was the one I was planning to get. I was planning to just get like another one for really cheap, and I was gonna put that on the bike, and then whenever I got this one, I would put it on the bike. So if you remember correctly, I bought a RC Monster Hobbies linkage. It was a 3/4 inch lift from eBay a while back, and I broke it. Okay, I broke the bearings in it. All right, so hopefully the bearing on this is pretty strong. All right, I'm looking at it, and it does look much beefier than the one that's on than the stock Sauron one. But my stock Sauron one isn't broken yet. Okay, that's the funny thing. Okay, so I don't know, maybe that Monster Hobbies one wasn't very well engineered, is what I'll say. Hopefully this one is, okay. I've heard that the Prickly Motorsports one is pretty beefy. Like they have like larger bearings than anybody else, is what I heard. And it's the bearing, yeah, you don't want, because if the bearing gets damaged and you don't notice it, and then it can damage the linkage where like you can't replace the bearings anymore, and you're just gonna have to throw it away. You know, it just becomes a chunk of aluminum after that point. That's what I'll say. Okay. Anyway, I got this from Warp9 Racing on Black Friday for $75. I think they're more than they might be more than $100 on the website now. They're kind of expensive. I'll put a subtitle below how much they cost now, but I did get it on Black Friday, and they had a 20% off sale on Black Friday. So if you want to get one for cheaper, you could order it on Black Friday. That's what I did. Okay, you know what, he's a big man. He's always trying to save money somehow, right? Okay, so yeah, there it is. I got the black one. All right, it's a black anodized. I think they have 2 other colors. I think it's like a raw aluminum, and I think they had a red one, I think. It's a red one or a blue one, I'm not sure. I'll put a subtitle below what other colors they have. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this, and then I will go install it on the bike like some other day, but it'll be like the next clip. And we can compare it to the RC Monster Hobbies right now, and then when I get the stock one off the bike, we'll compare all of them, okay? But for now, let's go take a closer look at this bad boy, all right? And then we'll compare it to the RC Monster Hobbies one. All right, so we go. Okay, here it is. It's on the FedEx envelope that I got. interesting thing to note about the FedEx. Interesting thing to note about the FedEx logo. It says Hades Omega Moto Racing on it. There you go. All right, it says Hades Omega Moto Racing on it. All right, yeah. Yeah, Hades Omega put that on the address. So. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so there it is. Let's go take a look at. Let's set this aside for a second. We'll take a look at this bad boy. All right, that's what it comes in, like all their other Warp9 packaging. Okay. It's the front and the back. It says here, bearings are pre-greased. Do not remove bushing. Okay, so that means you don't have to pack it with grease. Okay, that's a good thing. Because that Hades bag was dreading, oh man, I'm going to sit here for like half an hour to an hour freaking greasing bearings with my pinky, okay? like I did the other ones, all right? But no, you don't have to. They grease it already for you, okay? Let's go open it up. Oh yeah, and then that's it. So it says S-Link 1.5. So, okay, so one thing I have to thank Warp9 Racing is they allowed me to change my order, all right? I had ordered the 0.75 inch or 3/4 inch rise, and then I realized I'm going to install. I wanted to install a 16-inch rear wheel instead. All right, I was going to go with a 16-inch rear wheel, so that would have dropped the bike a lot. Okay, and like we were still going to have the 19-inch front, so it's going to rake the bike a lot, and I didn't want that. All right, so I needed to get the most lift that I could, and this is it right here. Okay, so this will raise the bike 1.5 inches apparently. Okay, the other one 3/4 inch. So the one I ordered was 3/4 inch and 3/4 inch lift. All right, so this one says 1.5 on it. All right, it says SL Link 1.5. All right, -2. I don't know what the -2 means, but this is a 1.5 inch lift. It also says it on the it says it's a version 2. Ah, okay. So this is an updated linkage, right? That's probably why it took so long. Maybe they're re-engineering it. Okay, so maybe Hades Omega got a better part. Okay, is what I'm thinking. But yeah. They let me change from a 3/4 to a 1.5 inch because I was still waiting, and I sent an email to them. So hey, you know what? I changed my mind. I want the 1.5 inch. So can you send me that one instead of the 3/4 inch lift when you guys get them? And they're like, yeah, that's no problem. All right. And then I was worried that when I got it, I hope they remembered that I wanted the 1.5 inch, and they did. Okay, so I got the 1.5 inch. Thank you, Warp9, for that. Okay, I know it's my fault that like I didn't know I was gonna buy like a smaller rear wheel, okay? and then I just did, and then I was like, I need a bigger rise, okay? And so that's why I wanted the 1.5 inch, and they pulled through. All right, so thanks a lot, Warp9. All right, you guys took a long time to deliver, but you got me. You let me change my order. Thank you. All right, so let's go open this up. Very nicely packaged. Unfortunately, like all Warp9 products that I've already gotten, it doesn't come with any kind of manual. I don't like that. All right, there's got to be some kind of. I mean, it would be nice if there was a manual at least on their website or something, but I don't even think there's anything like that. Well, this thing's falling apart already. Okay, take it out carefully. Okay, there it is. Very nice, very beefy. Wow, it is very beefy. Holy moly. Okay, so this is a significant change in design over the Sauron one. Okay, this is the RC Monster Hobbies one is very similar to the Sauron one. All right, this is definitely beefier. It feels heavier. Okay, so this is also billet. This is made out of I think it's 7075 billet aluminum. It's very, very strong. All right, this one. I'm not sure about this one, but I think this one is pretty strong too. This one definitely looks like it's stronger than the Sauron one. Unfortunately, the bearing failed on this one. Okay, you can see this one is like kind of oval shaped. All right, so we'll do some measurements in a bit, and we'll weigh how much it weighs. All right, but one of the most biggest difference. All right, and this is like comparable to the Sauron one. Okay, the Sauron is just like this. The Sauron linkage. This has a like kind of external kind of bushing seal, all right, where this one isn't, like an internal seal. Okay, it tells you not to take it apart, so I'm trying not to, but I don't know. I don't know what the bearings look like inside. Yeah, let's take this out. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart. Okay, there we go. So the seal is different, all right? The seal doesn't stay on the outside, it's in the inside, all right? And it says the bearing is pre-greased, so it says, so if it's pre-greased, right? Is that what it said? Hold on. Yeah, it says bearings are pre-greased, do not remove bushing, all right? So the grease is already inside, all right? The grease is on inside the bearing, all right? So that's really nice, and it seems like it's very smooth, all right? It's a different design. The bushing is pressed into the linkage, all right? Whereas this one, the sealing bushing is on the outsides, all right? It's like it acts as like a washer. It's very much like the Suron one, all right? So they just hang out on the outside, and you have to kind of like sandwich them onto the swing arm or wherever it mounts, right? Well, this one, no. This one is internal, all right? So this is much beefier than this. Much beefier. All right, and we'll get a caliper out and we'll measure it in a bit. All right, as you can see, there's nothing sticking out of it. All right, it's flat here because there's all that. See the part where the bushing sticks out. This one has the bushings on the bottom. The part where the bushing sticks out is just all aluminum. All right, it's just all block of aluminum. So supposedly that should make this much more stronger. It's got more meat to it, and the sealing bushings are like internal now. They're pressed into the thingy, okay? Pressed into the linkage. So let's go get some measurements real quick, and that'll be the end of the video. And then when I get the other one out, we can compare all three of them, right? Okay, we got handy friend here, caliper, all right? So the first thing we'll measure is how thick these ears are, right? Also, I wanted to point out that this is a 1.5 inch rise linkage, while this one is a 3/4 rise linkage. And I think the difference is, I don't know, it's a good question. It looks like this angle right here is much more steeper than this one. See how this one kind of points that way, and then this one points this way, and they're kind of like they're resting the same way. Let's turn it sideways. Okay. Yeah, so you can definitely see this is at a much steeper angle. This one is going more that way, while this one is not going as far that way. Okay. Move the camera a little bit so you guys can see a little better the comparison. Okay, obviously this one is not painted or anodized or anything. It's just raw aluminum. I don't think they had choices on what color it was, but I chose the black one. Okay, and I have the black triangle linkage also, if you guys remember. Okay, so this one has like kind of like some honeycomb kind of dimples right here. What did they call this? Fluting is what it's called. All right, it's fluting. It's there to make the part lighter. Oh crap! These little spacers, they fall out really easy. Okay, but it says don't grease it. All right, because it's already been greased. So hopefully these are like, it's a maintenance-free type thing. All right. So yeah, there's that fluting right there, and then it's just solid here. It has a Warp9. I think this is like laser etching or something. It has like a Warp9 logo right here. It says V2, so that leads me to believe this is a updated part. All right, that's why they took so long getting it to us. They wanted to re-engineer the part, and I think that's why this one looks much beefier right on the sides. It says Warp9 V2 S-Link 1.5 AL 7075. All right, so that means it's aluminum, 7075 aluminum. Okay, very, very strong aluminum. All right. Okay, and it's a linkage with a 1.5 inch lift. All right, compared to the stock one. Okay, and I think that's about it. That the stuff that we can look at. All right, you can take a look at it from different angles and stuff. All right, these come out, and then you can see the bearings inside. Okay, it's just like a needle bearing. We'll see if we break them. Hazelbaker broke this one, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much this one can withstand the punishment Hazelbaker is going to give it. Okay, so let's take some measurements real quick. Let's measure the little ears here. 5.8 millimeters thick. This one. This one's kind of dirty. Don't want to touch it. 5.7 millimeters. Okay, so the Warp9 one is just a tad bit thicker. All right, and remember, this one is already stronger than the stock, supposedly stronger than the stock one. Let's measure how wide this linkage is from where the spacers go on the side. Is 30 millimeters. Okay. Well, this one is 25 millimeters. Okay, so you've got an extra 5 millimeters of material. All right, 2.5 millimeters on each side of this makes it thicker, makes it stronger, more durable, hopefully longer lasting. Okay, and hopefully, yeah, hopefully it can withstand the punishment more. That's what I'll say. All right, and it does have these seals. Hopefully these seals are better than the seals on this. Okay, I haven't had a problem with the seals on this. I pop them out whenever whenever I have to take the linkage apart. I pop it out, and then I try to stick some grease in there, but so you don't really have to do that with these. All right, so the grease is already inside it. Okay, what else? Let's measure how thick the bottom part is. Okay, so this is 30 millimeters. All right, and this one, it does have the bushing on the bottom part, so we can measure it with the bushing. And this is 30 millimeters. Okay, so it's as if you you basically did away with the external seal, and you have an internal seal, but you have that extra material holding it. All right, so hopefully it makes it stronger. Okay, let's see how thick this part is. 22.6 millimeters. Okay, compare it to here. 25.7. Wow. Okay, this is actually thicker. 25 versus 22. Yeah, wow. Okay, so this is actually thinner over here, but it is wider. It's the opposite. All right, so it's thinner. This is thicker here, but it's thinner here. This one is thinner here, while this one is thicker here, and this one is thinner here. It's kind of odd, right? These are about the same, all right, and the angle is much different, as I showed you earlier. Okay, let's see how thick this is if we just measure along the bore here. 32 millimeters, I'm getting. Okay. Right, it is. 29. Okay, so Warp9's a little thicker, and we could do the same thing for this. 25.4. And 25. This one's a little thinner. So this one is thicker and thinner in different places than this one. All right. So RC Monster Hobbies was the one that made this. All right. Unfortunately, the bearing failed on me. And it looks like it damaged it. So I don't think there's any way we're going to use this anymore. I think even if you replace the bearing on this, it's still, it messed up the linkage. It's no good anymore. Okay. All right. So I think okay, there's only one more measurement we can make, and that's the weight. All right. Let's check that out. Okay. So to be fair, this one is missing its the bushing seals. Okay, the seals for the bearings. On this side, okay, but it still has them here. Okay, this one has all the seals in there, and I'm not going to take them out. Okay, so the RC Monster Hobbies weighs 4.6 ounces. Okay, I'd imagine this one probably weighs very similar. No, this one weighs more. I can tell. I can definitely tell. This one weighs 7.4 ounces, so this one is definitely heavier. All right, it's heavier and it's it's thicker and thinner in different places. So when we get the stock one, I will compare this one with the stock one, and then we'll install it. So when I get the stock one off the bike, we'll do the same comparison with the stock one. Okay. But that's the comparison between the Warp9 linkage in 1.5 inch rise versus the RC Monster Hobbies that's a 3/4 inch rise. Okay, and really the 3/4 inch didn't really lift it all that much. So I would definitely need it with the 16 inch. All right, I thought with this one, with the 3/4 inch lift, I think if you were going to go with the 21 inch front and go with this, I think it's fine. It's perfectly fine. All right, and it lifts the bike up like properly. Okay, your bike will like lean over right. All right, yeah. If you have the 21 inch front and you're running the stock linkage, your bike kind of sit like this a little bit, and it's too straight when it's on the side on the side stand. Okay. All right. So in the next video, I will have in the next video clip I will have uninstalled the stock linkage, and then we will compare the stock linkage to the Warp9. All right, and I think that'll be a more drastic comparison. Really, this is an upgraded part of the Sauron, and I broke it. Okay, so but that just goes to show that, like, maybe even though it's beefier, it failed at the bearing. So it has to do with like the engineering of like the part and the geometry and stuff. Maybe something wasn't right with that. So that might be why that one broke, or maybe just Hades Megas just can't handle Hades Mega's punishment. So we'll say. All right. Okay. So anyway, in the next video clip, I will have taken the stock linkage out, and then we'll compare the stock linkage to this one. All right. Hades Mega out. All right. Hades Mega here, and I've got the stock linkage out of the bike. All right. So if you guys remember correctly, after one of those races, I noticed, hey, my swing arm is kind of loose, and so that linkage that I had before was broken. All right, so this is my stock linkage, and this is the linkage that has been in the bike since I broke that one. All right, so I have not broken the stock linkage, so pretty tough stuff. if I have to say so myself, is what I want to say. All right, but so I compared it to the RC Monster Hobbies linkage in the last video, and then now we're going to compare it to the stock linkage. Okay, actually, let's get the RC Monster Hobbies one also. Okay, there we go. I've got all three of them together. So, all right, but since I talked about this one last night, this one's just kind of just hanging out here. Okay, so here's the stock linkage, and then this is the Warp9 linkage. As you can see, the dimensions are pretty much similar. All right, so this is the stock height linkage, and then this is with a 1.5 inch lift, and you can see like the angle of this guy is more that way. All right, if you look at them side by side. Okay, so that's what gives it that 1.5 inch lift, is that the geometry right there. All right, it's actually not much different to tell you the truth. All right, so yeah, the distance from here to here is pretty much the same. All right, but where the differences lies is right here. Okay, the part that touches the fork, the spring. Okay, so you can see the Sauron part is designed to be very light. Okay, it's got like a lot of fluting in it. All right, that's why these are cut so deep. All right, is to make it lighter. All right, and then so the bearing seals just popped out. All right, so that, like I said, like the same thing with the RC Monster Hobbies, the Warp9 linkage has like an internal seal for the bearings. All right, well, this one has the external seal right here. Okay, those are the washers that popped off. All right, these are the ones that protect your bearing from water and dirt and dust and all that stuff. Okay, so that's it without the seal. And this is it with the seal right there. Okay. As you can see, this one, my Light V is the carbon colored one. All right. I think nowadays they only have black Saurons. In my opinion, the all black one is kind of ugly. Okay. But however, the gray one, the carbon one, at least it has, you know, it's a little lighter shade. That's what I'm saying, right? This is the black anodized linkage from Warp9. Okay, I went with the black because they don't have a gray. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's just do some quick measurements. But yeah, so you can see here that this part is much thicker, all right, than these parts right here, just by looking at it, all right. And they added that, they were able to add that extra material by using that, you know, internal seal, all right, the little seal that's in here for the bearings. Okay, very nice. And if you guys are wondering why, yeah, if you guys are wondering why this one failed, is the bearing got destroyed. All right, so some of the one of the needle bearings is missing and stuff. You can see it's oval. Okay, it's oval shape. So when the bearing gets destroyed, and if you don't catch it soon enough, it'll make this hole out of round, and then yeah, then it's pretty much ruined at that point. So it'll never, like, it'll have a play in it, all right, and that's what you don't want. You don't want any play in your suspension. Okay, this one is still in good shape though. However, you know, the Sauron parts are still pretty good, is what I want to say. I'm still pretty impressed with the parts that come on the Sauron. But as you can see, this one was made to be very lightweight, right? While this one is just, it's beefy. Look at how big it is, all right? The fluting is very minimal, all right? While there's a lot of fluting on the Sauron part. So the Sauron part was made to be light, all right? This Warp9 part is made to be strong. This is made out of 7075 aluminum, all right? I'm not really sure what this is made out of, but so it has withstood the test of time, is what I'm gonna say. All right, in Hades Omega's hands. All right, and yeah, okay, so let's just do some quick measurements, and then that'll be the end, and then I will go install this puppy, and I'll be finally done working, pretty much done working on the bike. Okay, we're gonna do some measurements between the Warp9 and the stock linkage. First, let's just kind of look at both of them. Okay, so that's from the side. This is from the top. Okay. Okay, let's flip it around. Okay. And then I think that's all we can really do, yeah. All right. Let's just put it this way again. All right, so let's measure just the metal parts, okay, on the top here. Okay, I got a 29 right here, 29 millimeter. Right here we've got 26 millimeter, okay. So that tells you the difference between, you know, having that extra material on the outsides. That's it. It's like 26 millimeters versus like a 29, so that's like 3 millimeter difference. It's much beefier. Okay, but we can measure. We can measure with the seals in there. Put these back in. These guys love to come out. But don't worry, when they're on your bike, they ain't gonna come out if you have everything torqued properly. Okay, so with the bushing though, which probably doesn't add much strength to it, it's 30 millimeters. It's actually more. Okay, 30 millimeters. Okay, this whole dealie here is 30 millimeters. I get the feeling that the Warp9 is going to be a tight fit. Yeah, so it's 30. So overall, it's 30 millimeters, but you have the extra material thanks to that bushing design. Okay, and then I don't think we did just the metal material. So just the metal material was 26 on this, and right here is 29. All right, almost 30. Okay, let's see the thickness of the shock mount here. Got about 6 millimeters right there.
We've got 6 millimeters right here, so exactly the same. What other differences can we make? I think that's about it, yeah. Oh yeah, okay, so and then the last thing we can check is how much it weighs. All right. Okay, I know we measured this yesterday, but it's 7.4 ounces for the Warp9. All right. Versus stock Suron, all right, with all the bushings and everything, as we would install it, 6.4. All right. So 6.4 and 7.4. So 1 ounce difference. All right. So not really that much of a difference in weight. Not enough. Negligible is the word I'm looking for. Okay. And if you wanted to see the RC Monster Hobbies, 4.6. Wow, this one is much lighter than even the Sauron one. It's crazy, right? Yeah. And that's probably why the Sauron one was better, okay? Like, the Sauron one actually had like more material on it. It makes it stronger. Alright, so this one is probably, it's just lighter, but it's not stronger, apparently, alright? But it looks a pretty nice part, though, I have to say. Looks like it's been properly made, but it didn't last. All right, so there you go. That I went over the differences between the RC Monster Hobbies 3/4 inch lift linkage, the stock Sauron linkage that came with my Sauron Lightbee. It's a 2018 Sauron Lightbee MX. Okay, and then this is a 1.5 inch lifting linkage from Warp9. All right, apparently this is the version 2 also. I don't know what the version 1 looks like. All right. And like we mentioned, really this isn't much. This is only like slightly heavier than this, okay? And it has more material here where the bearings are. So I'm hoping the bearings are stronger on this. All right, it has some kind of bigger, stronger bearings or something in there. The reason why this one failed is because the bearing was weak, I guess, or something. He's mega punished it too much, all right, and the bearing couldn't handle it. So hopefully these bearings can handle the punishment, is all I'm gonna say. Because this part right here, it takes a lot of abuse, all right. It has to be able to handle a lot of abuse. That's what I want to say. Okay, so Hazemeg is looking forward to installing this on the bike. I'll show you what it looks like when it's installed on the bike. I'm not going to go over installing it. It's very easy. I will put a link at the end of the video if you want to know how to remove and install these. But it's very simple, okay? You just take the bolts out and you put the new one in. You just move the swing arm around, okay? Pretty much. Hazemeg is looking forward to installing this and using it and seeing what kind of punishment it can handle, all right? If it doesn't break, then it's good, all right? That's what I want to say, all right? Because I managed to break that one. All right, and I needed this because I need I'm running a 16-inch wheel in the rear now, so I need that to lift the rear to compensate for the smaller wheel, diameter wheel, because the back is going to be like lower now. Okay, so hopefully that brings it back up to where it should be. Okay, and then and when I have the Supermoto wheels on the bike, it should rake the bike, so it'll make it better for riding it on the racetrack, because the back will be lighter. You know, I could slide the back around a little more. That's what I say. Okay, and the bike will have like less tendency to want to wheelie. Okay, that's one thing you don't want to do on the track either. Okay, so I will install it and then show you what it looks like, and then that'll be the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Check it out. Okay, Hazemega here. So I'm installing the Warp9 linkage, and so one thing I've noticed is that the triangle, where the triangle links to the linkage, all right, the progression triangle, it's pretty loose. Look at that. It's not touching at all. So I hope that's okay. Yeah, it leads me to believe maybe the spacer's not the right size, but we did measure this part, and it was 30 millimeters, right? They were both 30 millimeters, like with all the hardware in them. Okay, so okay, I'm just gonna install it like that. Okay, no problems installing the bottom part. All right, on my shock also. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make that note real quick before I started putting everything together. Okay, there it is. I installed it. The rest of the install went out without incident. Okay, I don't remember how loose it is, but yeah, it's touching the metal. I don't know. Like I saw, like, you know, when I tightened it, I could see like this part like squeeze, like it started to move. Like same thing with this. All right, so I don't know. I hope that's the way they had intended for it to install. So I'll say, all right. I hope it's proper. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, the swing arm does move a little bit. Let's just tug up on that. Okay, yeah, it kind of moves. It's kind of hard to move, but hopefully it'll be okay. All right, but there it is. It looks bling bling. It goes well with the Warp9 triangle. All right, if you remember correctly, I had trouble installing this triangle. All right, I had to shave it so it would fit in there. It would not fit with the bushings in there. All right, but however, this one feels like it was too loose or something. All right. So hopefully it'll be okay. Like I said, I didn't grease the linkage at all. All right, because it says the bearings are pre-lubed, so you don't need to do any kind of lube. The only lube that I did put is the only lube that there was on the bolts. All right, I had lubed the bolts with grease. All right, that's about it. Okay, so there we go. All the suspension stuff is finally all done, and I can put the wheels back on the bike. So yeah. That was the last part I was waiting for, and then yeah, and say like, hey, this project is pretty much done already. All right, there's still a couple little things here and there, but I can probably ride it now. So I'll say I got to get new grips. That's what I found out. Okay, so there it is, the Warp9 lifting linkage. All right, this is the Warp9 version 2, 1.5 inch lift linkage. All right, and we went over the comparisons between the RC Monster Hobbies and the stock linkage. All right, hopefully this one will last a long time. I will, if it doesn't, you'll see another video. So I'll say, all right, okay, and thanks Warp9 for letting me change to the 1.5 inch lift. All right, after I had ordered the 3/4 inch one. It did take them 3 months for them to get this to me though, so I'm a little disappointed with that. All right, but I was about ready to buy another one, and that almost. All right, but then they pulled through at the last second. All right. Oh yeah, by the way, I installed it using the torque specs that I used for the other one, 22 foot-pounds. All right, I just did 22 foot-pounds, 22 foot-pounds, and then I just snugged this one as good as I could with the wrench. Okay, this one typically I don't, and plus it's hard to get to. It's kind of like in there, all right? So, okay, yep. So I installed it like I would install the other one it's been working that way just fine. So hopefully this one will be fine. All right, here we go.